Okay, so let's talk about 3 ways to increase revenue overnight. So, of course, it sounds like a very bold claim. However, in a few moments, you'll kind of see the framework and understand why it may not actually be that bold a claim and how feasible it is. So to get started, let's take a look at what framework we're talking about, right? So this is, what you're looking at here is what's called the inbound methodology model, right? Where it starts with when someone's a stranger to your business, they are attracted through a marketing campaign, but the marketing campaign is actually, inside of this model, very content driven. That content then converts them, and from that conversion leads to a close. And after that person becomes a customer, after being closed, they then are delighted, right, by your follow-up, okay? And what needs to happen after that delight experience is that they also kind of come back and purchase more products, right? And or promote in such a way, whether it's writing a review such that other people now know more about your business and come back and also add to your bottom line. So that's the framework. HubSpot happens to be the king of this particular methodology, and their entire model and tools are framed around this model. So that's sort of the context where this is coming from, right? So as you watch this, you'll see there's 3 solutions. The first is increasing your prices. Increasing your prices is the number one for now. Not, all 3 are very important, but I'm going to share with you. But increasing your prices is one of the solutions that you can actually implement right now, depending on what your product is, what its price pointed at. Increase your prices is one of the most easy, most effective solutions. Now, of course, I can hear pushback, so we're just going to cross that out, okay? About why that may not make sense for you and how your customers are different, and all those types of reasons and rationales that we provide when presented with this opportunity to increase our pricing. Most of us are actually very insecure about our pricing, so we're afraid to actually increase it. So we're just going to take it off the table for now. But the next solution is, selling to more customers overall. So this means you can increase your sales volume. Now, in order to be able to do this, that requires that you attract more customers, which in some cases requires that you invest more into your marketing campaign, and or you have to create more content, right? So that solution, although it's attractive and possible, actually does take a little bit of time depending on how big your team is. You can increase your content by, of course, adding or identifying, doing a little bit more market research to identify keywords that you can then use to create content that's more attractive and easy to identify by your prospects, right? Again, it's kind of simple to implement, takes a little bit of time, so it's more of like kind of virtually overnight, but it could take, based on search engine optimization algorithms and how Google has things set up, it could take a little while, but you'll be surprised how change in a keyword here or there and posting content, in the case of like a video like this one, can actually increase your exposure in order for you to increase your sales volume. Now, I can already hear you saying, I don't know about that one, so we're going to cross that out as well. So now we're left with the third solution to increasing your profits, overnight, or revenue overnight. And this one might be a little bit more attractive and more appealing. And it is the increase of frequency. Increasing the frequency of how often your customer buys from you. So this requires that you inspire your customers to buy more often, right? And to do this requires that you have some systematic way of reaching out or reminding them or educating them to seeing the value of buying more often. In order to be able to do that, that then requires some systems, right? Some level of technological sophistication, right? In order to execute on that. And so if you can agree with me that this particular solution is the one that we can go with, then we can talk about inspiring your customers to buy more often using technology and a bespoke strategy, right? In other words, a customized strategy for you and your business, depending on what industry you're in order to do that. But there's one problem. The problem with that is that most of the time, you're hemorrhaging money. And Is this what's causing your business's hemorrhaging of money or revenue, right? What I just walked you through a moment ago, right? Which is looking at or identifying how you can leverage technology to increase, right, buying frequency. And in essence, perhaps at this point, you're already just inside of your business feeling overworked with low margins to show, right, for how much work you're putting in to keep the ball moving forward. So I have a simple question, which is, do you have a Frankenstein technology issue, right? Might you have that Frankenstein technology issue that I mentioned? And if you don't know what I'm talking about when I say, do you have a Frankenstein technology issue, it's also known as the FrankenTech Solution or FrankenTech Solutions. And if you don't understand what FrankenTech Solutions are, I'll walk you through that in a moment. However, the main thing is, as just the name implies, if you remember the film, right, Frankenstein, we walk through sort of, or at least I illustrate at the end of this, an opportunity, and if you've stuck with this as far, there's an opportunity for you at the end of this to have a chance to actually complete. You'll get the opportunity to kind of self-assess, right, yourself, and figure out whether or not you have a Frankenstein technology issue that might be just undermining and destroying your opportunity to really increase revenue in a very short period of time, right, by implementing some specific technological solutions. So that said, what's FrankenTech? Well, let's just say you have a point of sale, you have a point of sale system, but it's not connected to automatically follow up with your database of clients, or you're having to do a lot of manual entry work for following up. That could be automated, but you don't know how to do that and run the business at the same time. Or you're confused by mixed online blog answers, right? Like we all go to Google search to try to figure out our situation. And when you're in these kind of situations as bulleted here, you are in a FrankenTech situation. So, you're stuck, right? Either doing one of the following, not doing anything and feeling guilty about it, or downloading and uploading CSV files. And if you know CSV files or you know Excel, you know exactly what I'm talking about when I'm referring to these CSV files into your email marketing tool, right? And when customers reply to your email marketing campaigns, you're responding via Gmail, right, or via email in the case of Gmail, Yahoo, or Hotmail, or whatever your provider is. But you lose track of where people are in your sales funnel, right, or cycle toward making a purchase if they haven't bought yet, or buying more, right? So somewhere in here, if you're lost and this sounds somewhere remotely like you've got a FrankenTech issue, right? So in final sort of assessment and packaging this problem, somewhere between your phone, a spreadsheet or a CSV file, your POS's database, your email marketing tool, you create a monster, a collection of tech workarounds to stay afloat. This is FrankenTech. And the risks to you is that you're impacted by high stress, burnout, business implosion from not keeping up with demand, and losing customers, losing their trust, and overwhelm. So, friendly reminder of the whole idea behind Frankenstein. If you remember, watching any of the old movies, Mary Shelley's Frankenstein, this is what Frankenstein looked like. And the reason why is it's called FrankenTech is because just like Frankenstein had a maker, Victor Frankenstein or Frankenstein, there was someone behind that monster. And whatever technological solutions you've been applying or trying to apply to figure out what to do to sort of stay afloat, you are the Dr. Frankenstein behind that monster. And so that monster, as Frankenstein, is more familiar to you in this sort of green face, traditional Halloween sort of mask, right? Like figure that you're looking at. And you can take responsibility for creating that, but it's not your fault, that this has happened. That's why, you know, there's alternatives, there's solutions, there's those who can guide you towards a path where you don't have to deal with the monster. Now, just to give you sort of the short how the story kind of ends, is that Frankenstein, after the monster gets created, starts killing people, right? And chances are, if you created some FrankenTech Solutions, workarounds, trying to stay afloat, it's probably killing some aspects of your business as well. So that metaphor is very, very relevant. So where should I start? You might be asking yourself to figure out whether or not your Frankenstein solution is killing your business or hurting your business, or how you can sort of make some adjustments to help your business. I'm going to give you a hint. Inbound CRM, which is HubSpot's platform, which is actually free, is available, and you have to compare it, what its capabilities are with respect to your email marketing solutions. You know, in some cases, if you're a small business, you're trying to, you know, you're not trying to kill your overhead, and you're trying to figure out smarter ways to actually have whatever your Frankenstein situation is, you want it to still work, right, without stressing you out or burning you out or imploding your business. And so that's what's to come in another video to be shared with you. So for now, what I'd like you to do is subscribe for the upcoming clarity-inspired how-to strategy videos on how to really assess or at least take some action based on your situation. Okay? And after subscribing, what I'd like you to do as well is take the inbound business survey below. You'll see that. That inbound survey just sort of walks you through some Q&A that takes less than 5 minutes to complete. And after you've completed that, you'll actually have a good, clear sort of understanding of where you are. And it also gives me an opportunity to know where you are in order to present and create some of the content to come that will address your specific questions. I'll leave my information below, as well as the link to that survey that you can take so that you can be served best and have content that's very, very targeted towards your specific pain points. Thank you so much for watching, and we will see you in an upcoming video. Don't forget to subscribe, and we'll talk to you soon.